Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the new and improved podcast. Through the highs and the lows for 4 years running, the podcasts have been here for you, bringing the victories and the defeats, the joys and the sorrows, and we're just getting started. I'm your show producer, Bella, the coordinator of the chaos. And if you want to talk to Scott, you got to get through me. So be nice. Here at the podcast, we do it a bit different. We're all about the investment element of crypto, no hype, but rational and objective context of what we are buying and what we are selling. And we strive to be entertaining and informative while we do it. So strap in, fill your glass, and without any further ado, I give you the podcaster himself, the one and only Great Scott. Dazzle me, boy.
Thank you, Belle. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. We're going to have an interesting show tonight, just so you guys know. I've been without power yesterday and a little bit today, so I didn't really have anything to do. I had like 2 bars of cell service. That was a hell of a storm hit right across Iowa. Apparently Ethan weathered it okay, but another friend of ours further east, he didn't do so well. But Midwest, man, it happens. It's like an inland hurricane, man, like 90-mile-per-hour winds. It was vicious. We survived it. I survived it. Belle survived it just fine. I was without power. She did have power. But I had time on my hands. I couldn't broadcast. I couldn't do videos. I couldn't do anything. So I was listening to Twitter Spaces. And, well, I never listened to Twitter Spaces. But the theme that I'm starting to hear on these Twitter Spaces that's picking up more and more is what the hell's happening to Cosmos, what the hell's happening to Osmo, and what the hell is happening to crypto. It's kind of an overarching thing here. And we got people, professional shills. These are the guys that do nothing but get paid to shill tokens. Are coming out now after their tokens drop down 90%. And they're like, hey, it's crypto, man. You got to expect 99% of everything out here is going to go to zero. It's just a game. That's it. There is no real tech. It's just player versus player. But this is what is starting to come out now. Now, I disagree with that strongly, incredibly, as much as I possibly could. I disagree with that. You're only having that problem because of the way that you see crypto and because of the products that you invest in. See, I don't invest in those. I invest in products that are businesses. That is a big, big difference. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. There's 2 types of things out here. There are crypto projects, and then there are businesses that use crypto for blockchain businesses. That's what they are. There are people that are simply doing crypto, and there are people that are using blockchain that require crypto to make their product function. You really need to know the difference in these. You really need to pay attention to which one you happen to have a whole lot of money in. Because if it is a pure crypto project, it does nothing. Your memes, like 90% of everything out here, that does absolutely nothing, that is not monetized, that has no intention of ever monetizing, or really doesn't even understand what the hell that means. Those things are absolutely going to descend. They're going to pop out, and that's going to be it. Now, the reason that the mood is swinging so wildly, and we've been talking about this for a year, and I'm glad that people are finally starting to catch up. But the reason that all of this is happening, and you guys remember this, I hope you do, when you go back and look at the very moment that the Bitcoin ETFs got passed, I said right there at that moment, the entire paradigm of crypto is about to change. And the entire paradigm of crypto absolutely did change. The problem is that people are not pragmatic. Pragmatism doesn't work out here in crypto. What works out here in crypto is tribalism. So all of these pure tribalists that just became exit liquidity because the paradigm changed right in front of them, and they were unwilling to recognize it. It has nothing to do with those it has nothing to do with anything. It has everything to do with market and market sentiment and market forces. But for some reason, because we're in crypto, we like to pretend that they don't exist. And they absolutely exist. If you don't believe me, take a look at your wallets. So it's nice listening to the talking heads out here finally catching up with us and saying, there might be a problem out here. It seems like Celestia, Saga, and Dimension, these incredibly low float tokens, it seems like these might not be a terribly good investment. It seems like they might be just sitting here turning investors into the product and taking all the money out of their pockets. It seems like this might be the case, and it is. But it didn't change. It's always been that way. You just finally caught up to it. You just finally caught up when you realized that you bought TIA at $17, or when you held your Saga all the way down because it's going to turn, or because you believed in Dimension so strongly that now you're 70 to 80% down on it, but you still got faith, baby. You still have faith. It is a great place to build. They have hundreds of projects that are building on those. They can't tell you any of them. In fact, I'll announce one right now. The Eric Astrovault token is going to be going live any day now on Dimension, and you just got to look for it, man. It's gonna turn everything. Everything's going to change then. And that's really all it takes is a simple announcement and anything that sounds the least bit credible, and people are just going to bite onto it. You are the product. I don't know how many times I can say this, but you are the product of these tokens. Never been a fan. Never been a fan. So now that the bottom is starting to fall out, when Bitcoin is still cruising up above 70, well, it's like 69 now, but you know where I'm going with it. While Bitcoin is sitting there hovering between $66,000 and $71,000, normal. Everything else is down across the board, and the same people are still sitting here. Just wait for the alt season. Sir, there will not be an alt season. It happened. It already occurred. It was the run-up to the ETFs. That was the alt season. What makes you think that people are suddenly going to come out here and buy your unmonetized, worthless science fair projects? What gives you that impression that says it's all going to work out? We just got to wait for all the liquidity to get here. The liquidity's here, all right? But it's not out here because products don't have any value. You have no value capture mechanisms. You're a science fair. You already had your run. Nobody is building on you. Nobody's rushing out there. Nobody has this beautiful, new, innovative idea. And all they need is a Juno, a place to build it. That's all they need. None of that is happening. None of that has ever happened. We get clone after clone after clone of what already worked, and we dilute it every single time. You know what happens when you make a copy of a copy? The next copy, it's not as good as the original. And if you copy that one, it won't be as good as that as the second one. That's what we do out here. We regurgitate stuff to extract value. But there is very little people that are actually developing or designing tokenomics or even care about sustainability. They don't give a shit about sustainability. They will build it. They will launch it. They will harvest you, and they will shut it down and move on to the next project. Man, it is the cycle out here. That is crypto in a nutshell. Now, I'm not down on all crypto. You guys know what I'm into. I'm into deep-in projects. I'm into one exchange out of all the exchanges that I could pour a lot of money in, and I got a lot of money. I'm not doing that. I'm pouring it into one in particular because sustainability is going to matter here. That's the only thing that's going to matter. Doesn't really matter now, but it's going to matter 18 months from now. And when you look at crypto the way I look at crypto from 30,000 feet, you are looking way down the road to say, is this going to make it? Is this going to work? Is my money at least safe here? That's what I do. And we're going to continue to do it regardless of what the market is doing. I'm still making money on it because I'm in the right things at the right time because I actually have a real good idea of what's going on out here. So with that, guys, we're going to have a very, very candid discussion. We're going to bring, we have Astrovault, the neck, Eric, on here with us. How are you doing tonight, Eric?
I'm doing good, Scott. Thanks for having me back, brother.
Thanks for wearing I've never seen you without a hat or in a collared shirt. Dude, what's going on? You going to church after this?
Every day, Scott. I need to.
No, I know you do. I absolutely know you do. All right, dude, you just heard my monologue, man. Tell me where I'm wrong. All right, attack, dude. Go on the attack. I want a fighting show tonight. What am I wrong about?
You're not. And yeah, fundamentally, a way I look at this, I used to be in card counting and all the gamification type stuff. Is you have to think about what success looks like what valuation would be achieved if there's going to be success, and then what are the odds of them reaching that valuation. If you think like, oh, success for Dimension is is such and such success in the market and adoption and eventually value capture, and that would get them to a $10 billion market cap, and they've got a 1% chance of achieving that, then it's like, oh, well, they have a 1% chance of a 5x. That's not great. So yeah, I mean, it's what are you really hoping for if you're buying into something at a $2 billion valuation?
You know what? You and I both know the answer to this, dude. You're buying into the hype. You're buying into the shills. You're buying into the people who have not quite caught on to this game by the fact that we're looking at Dimension right here that has 171 million tokens in circulation, but a total supply of $1 billion. Now, look, it is real easy just to go over to their stake, their validator set, and add up all the tokens. Guess what? It's more than 171 million. How is that possible? If there are only 171 million in circulation, how do they have 600 million tokens staked there with 400,000 held in the treasury? How is that possible, Eric? You're a tokenomics guy. This is what you do. You've dedicated your life to this. How is that possible? Please explain it.
Yeah, market cap is absolute bullcrap that anybody can say what they want is circulating. And just report that to CoinGecko as though it's fact. But heck, a lot of the times you can just put in a price feed to CoinGecko. That's completely inaccurate, and maybe say something's maintaining a peg because you're reporting a peg price instead of like an actual trading price. So all of these stats are crap. I prefer looking at things by the fully diluted valuation instead of by the market cap, because people are always going to twist the numbers around. I have had people hit me up and they're like, hey, we want the market cap to look lower. We need to very slightly adjust the vesting schedule so that this looks like it's not circulating so that we can get suckers on CoinMarketCap to buy in. I want no part of that. But yeah, I mean, obviously the tokens are actively staked. You're seeing this everywhere. If you look on Astrovault right now and you check out what our circulating supply is, what our market cap is, you're not going to see more than that staked. Tokens that aren't circulating. The second they do, our API will read it, and CoinGecko will be like, hey, those tokens are circulating now. We did an airdrop, circulating supply increased. To me, that's pretty straightforward, but people are going to do what they're going to do.
Okay,
Lots of shady stuff around
you
here.
said you like the FDV, right? You said you prefer FDV. The FDV of Dimension is $2.7 billion. $2.7 billion with only what is recognized up here as 171 million. Now, I did all these numbers. Dude, I crunched all of these numbers. All right, look, 1 billion total supply. It's right there. $2.75 per token gives you a FDV of $2.75 billion. But we know all of this is absolute horseshit because we can't account for any of those fucking tokens. You simply can't account for them. I mean, you can loosely in the fact that 600 million of them are staked. Those are VCs, by the way. They're the guys who are farming the hell out of you. And 400 million in a treasury, which we don't really know what they're doing with that treasury. They're supposed to be using that to fund development. Is that correct? They said they got 110 projects that are about to go up on Dimension any day now. And they're all going to give you airdrops. They are all promising airdrops to anybody who has the token staked. For fuck's sake, you cannot see this scam. Nobody out here, I'm it, right? I cracked the code. I'm the one who figured this out. Nobody else can see this. Dude, where am I off, dude?
I mean, like I said, what are you hoping for if you're staking? If they have a $2.7 billion valuation and you're trying to get an airdrop that's 5% of your funds, then you need $100+ million worth of a token to be airdropped. So you need a token to go live on Dimension that has, I don't know, a valuation on its own of $1 billion if it's airdropping 10% of its supply and just choosing to do that. Like this doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't.
And I'm bullish on Dimension. I thought I was going to be higher on Dimension than anybody else because I've been bullish on them for the last 2 years. I think they're brilliant. I think they have a fantastic chance of success. That being said, they're valued right now higher than reasonable initial success should be. Like in my personal opinion.
What's built on Dimension right now?
Outdated forked osmosis DEX.
Okay, so an outdated forked osmosis DEX, and you still recognize that that's an acceptable FDV of $2.75 billion. They have dick built on it. Nothing. This represents crypto better than anything else represents crypto right here. This is why I don't want anything to do with this world. That's why I don't make Dimension videos. That's why I don't talk up Tia or Saga or all the other bullshit that's going to come after this. I absolutely will not, because I don't want for even the slightest chance that anybody who may or may not listen to me and put value in anything I say to buy this shit. Stay out of it. You could have been in Jackal. You could have been in Kudos. You could have been in Nakash. You could have been in any other fucking D-pin project, and you'd be in a better position now than you would have been with any of this shit. But for some reason, this is attractive. This works. This is important. A $2.7 billion valuation chain that has nothing built on it. That seems reasonable to everybody. Now, again, Eric, I told you, man, look, I've been listening to these spaces. I've been tuning in, and people are starting to catch on to this. Now, we were talking about this yet a year ago. We were talking about this a long time ago with these low float tokens. Now, this is kind of your world, dude. Why don't you explain? We're gonna get to this. Oh, by the way, did you have some Astrovault alpha that you were gonna let go right here on the podcast? Or are you not gonna say it?
I went pretty heavy in alpha when I was on the show this weekend. So mostly that Nibiru stuff.
Did you? Okay, no. What's Nibiru? I've never even heard of them.
Nibiru's a new L1 built out in Cosmos, Cosmosm plus EVM type stuff. But really good team, building things fast, cheap, stuff like that. And we basically announced that we're going to be partnered with them very closely. So things are going well with our team and theirs.
Nice. Are you going to be their native DEX?
Will be a native DEX of theirs.
A native DEX. Well, I'm sure they're going to launch about 14 more, man. This is Cosmos, and the only thing we have are DEXs. All right, we have D-pin and we have DEXs. So, no, I certainly understand. No, dude, I'm very excited about it. What do you actually know about Nibiru, though? Can you expand on it a little bit? Because if I have to start making videos on this, I just want to know where to look.
Yeah, they're cheap. They abstracted away a lot of gas on some things, so they move fast and cheap, so it should be a really good UX. I know that their team's pretty solid so far. All of our interactions with them have been really nice and professional. So yeah, we like the team. We like their backers. I know personally like a couple of the developers and a couple of team members there, and as people I've gotten along with in the past.
Does this put you at odds with any of the other people that you might be currently associated? Because they sound an awful lot like a place to build, and you kind of exist on a place to build. So does this put you at odds with any of those, or can you guys? I mean, I understand this has always been the purpose of Astrovault, to be able to go anywhere. That's what you are. That's what you said before you even launched. You said, we're building this thing so that we can go anywhere. So I understand that. Are you going to get any heat from your current partners, or is this, you guys are free to do what you want to do?
I hope not. We're definitely free to do whatever we want to do. I mean, we have absolutely, like, up until this weekend, we've had absolutely zero like VC partners. So we're actually getting some funding from Nibiru, which is cool.
Yeah.
So if anything, we're more tied to them now. I don't know. Obviously, nobody's as invested in Archway, I believe, at all, period, as I am. We put our entire life on it. I still think they're doing some really cool stuff. I think we're really well positioned there. I've been giving everybody Archies and forcing them all to switch over, getting rid of their Anons or whatever. I want Archway to succeed. I'm going to do everything I can to make Archway to succeed. That being said, Astrovault has always been designed to continue growing, to continue scaling. Hell, we can't afford to stay in one place at one time, because if we can't get VC money in, we have to go pick up grants, so we can at least do that. But it also does showcase where things are at. I mean, we've seen in the last year or so, I don't know, a ton of chains that are supposed to be their own developer ecosystems all raise $20+ million. And as they raise a whole bunch of money to build an ecosystem where good dApps are going to be built, everyone's coming to the same realization: there are no good dApps.
No,
like everyone can go make their own cloned crap decks. Everything like, oh well, we have a different color on our UI. Nothing is special. In general, DeFi is, in my opinion, kind of boring right now. Astrovault isn't. For all of these crap decks, Astrovault's the only one that works. Like that's worth something, that's different, that's novel, that actually makes money. It's the only thing that's profitable. So if these dexes want an ecosystem that's going to grow, that's going to thrive, if they want more projects to come and launch tokens, they need something like Outbid, like a launch pad. It makes more sense with supply and demand. We are the only good non-native layer 1 decks that anybody can really attract and ask for. And so the bidding for us is going up. There's one of us, and there's a lot of chains that are dependent on having good applications in the ecosystem.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, I get it, and me and you are gonna hack through that here right after we go to break. Hey, Belle, do you have that our newest sponsor? Do you happen to have that? Because I sent it over to you yesterday. Do you happen to have that read?
I thought we were talking about having Eric read that one.
Yes, we are. Do you happen to have it handy? Can you send it over to Eric so that we can? And Eric, I'm just letting you know now, dude. I'm hitting record only on your live read, and we're gonna post this live read. It's going out to Twitter afterwards. You never see him. You don't see him before you go. But look, dude, we got to earn. All right, Daddy's got to eat. And we have to eat. We really like chicken, but for us to eat, we have to do these. So, can you do this live read for us real quick before we go to break?
Let's do it. It's been a while.
Okay, Belle, you send it over to him. You say when, and I'm going to hit record.
I did send it over to him.
All right.
You can hit record.
All right, Eric, I'm hitting record in 3, 2, 1. Start the read.
Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. Prepare your taste buds for an experience like no other. That's right. It's time to introduce Captain Rogers' Finger Blasters Extreme. Are you ready to have your senses tantalized and your hunger satisfied in the most unexpected ways? These aren't just any chicken fingers. Oh no, these are the ultimate finger blasters designed to take you to new heights of culinary pleasure. Imagine this: succulent, juicy chicken fingers, tender and moist, just begging to be touched. You can't help but wrap your hands around them and dive in, feeling that crispy exterior give way to pure, unadulterated deliciousness. But wait, there's more. Captain Rogers knows you crave variety, so he's added this secret blend of spices to really ignite your passion. Each bite is a burst of flavor, a roller coaster of sensations that will leave you breathless and wanting more. Finger blast me, Captain. And let's not forget the sauces. Oh, the sauces. Each one is crafted to perfection, designed to complement and enhance your finger blasting experience. Whether you like it hot and spicy, sweet and tangy, or smooth and creamy, we've got just the right thing to tickle your fancy. So why settle for a mediocre meal when you can indulge in Captain Rogers' Finger Blasters Extreme? Get ready to feast like never before and discover what it truly means to be finger licking good. Captain Rogers' Finger Blasters Extreme, because sometimes you just need to get your hands dirty. Bon appetit.
And we'll be right back, folks.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, Archer might get pissed. Oh well.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast, brought to you by Captain Rogers. Captain Rogers Finger Blaster Extreme. It's fun. It's fun to finger blast in groups, but if you don't have one, you can just finger blast yourself. Finger blast yourself. Belle, do we got any questions or comments? Me and Eric got a lot to get to here.
Oh, we've got quite a few. So first one coming in from Idiot Fish at the beginning of the show. Perfect timing. I just got the bong packed.
Just got the bong. Oh, yeah, man. We're here for you, dude. I understand. Since I retired, I have been allowed to indulge, and I've indulged a couple times. It's not how I remember it, man. Maybe I just aged out of it. But you know what? I'm willing to keep at it. Some things are worth it. Carry on, Belle.
New type. Can we have Eric give us a TLDR on Jacob's attack on Archway?
Oh, I bet you can.
Yeah, you guys ready for me to dive into that for a couple minutes?
Yeah, go, dude.
Cool. So, yeah, we have really extensive monitoring set up. We are very protective of our decks. It's our business. It's our life. So as when we're all sitting at the computer working anyways, we start getting alerts like, hey, something's not updating the way it usually does. We go check, see what's going on, and Fabio's immediately like, "Oh, we're getting spam attacked." Now, I had seen, I follow Gadicki, and I'm on decent terms with him. I like the guy for the most part. He does things differently, but I believe he has good at heart most of the time. Anyways, I had seen that he had been planning on doing these storm attacks different places. He's not trying to extract money, at least directly from the chains. He's not trying to implicate DeFi protocols, but he's trying to showcase that Cosmos chains are not really safe from DDoS, the same way you've seen Osmosis go down a million times. The same argument I've made in designing Archway, like Cosmos chains are not really safe, and the ICF isn't doing anything from this. He's trying to get funding from the ICF to fix it, and he's trying to clear Do Kwon's name because he thinks that had something to do with the Terra depeg. I guess it made it a little bit cheaper. Anyways, I figure out what's going on. I'm like, oh, Gadicki and storming this. So I drop him a DM because in the memos of all his transactions, it said failure is not fraud. That was funny. So I took a screenshot of that and I dropped a line to him saying like, LOL, like, all right, but I see what you're doing. But we all just kind of sat around and we watched, we just watched to make sure everything held up in Astrovault. We monitored all of our fail safes because if it was a black hat hacker, like they would be trying to attack the liquidity on Astrovault. And he wasn't, but we made sure that, like, sure enough, if he was, he still wouldn't have gotten anything. So we did great. But in essence, he was spamming transactions. He was filling up all of the computational power in the block by sending the tiniest possible amount of Arch to an Atom address, basically spamming the relayer with excess data and filling the blocks so far that it was hard for the validators to compute it. After doing this for a couple of minutes, the block started getting a little out of sync, and the validator slowed down to only making 1 block per minute. This is the exact reason we have a 10-minute timer on outbid, by the way, because Gadickian can do this. And if you place a bid and then you shut down the chain and people can't bid anymore, then you can steal the jackpot. This is the exact scenario that we're nervous about. And basically the TLDR was Archway did better than almost all the other chains he had done and still didn't do nearly good enough. So it was good for me to get more of this data to see how it all shut down. Astrovault got an absolute A+ flying colors. We were stoked with how it went down. It was good for us to get to see this on mainnet in our opinion, like a test scenario where there wasn't really a lot at risk, but we were able to monitor and make sure everything held up the way we expected it to. It did. But it is telling that this kind of stuff can happen, and now we can identify exactly how much it costs to happen until we can get things fixed.
Yeah, but if validators are struggling, were validators missing blocks? Because every time a validator misses a block, anybody staked with that validator does not get a reward for that block. So he kind of was affecting value. Am I not understanding crypto?
Worse. It would be less big of a deal if validators were missing blocks. The biggest deal is that validators weren't producing blocks at the 6-second interval you expect.
Oh, so they just weren't showing up. So
and that's one of the biggest issues with kind of Cosmos right now is when they get overloaded. I mean, same, if Bitcoin gets overloaded, instead of 10-minute block times, you're going to start seeing like 15, 20-minute block times. Ugh. And then they'll adjust the hash rate and they'll make it easier so that the blocks speed back up every couple of weeks. But you'll see that kind of stuff. But this happened a bit more extreme, where we should be having a block every 6 seconds, and for a 15-minute period, we're getting about 1 block per minute. And that 1 block was filled with Gadickian stuff. So we're trying, like, Fabio was live pushing code and we couldn't get anything through. I'm trying to sign stuff and I couldn't get anything through. So he basically shut Archway down for a while. It cost him only $100, which we were hoping it would be more expensive. We were hoping it would take more than 2.5 minutes to slow it down like that. But now we have this data and we can advise on parameter adjustments to make things a little bit better going forward.
All right, so I understand that it'll happen. So if they're attacking the native chain that you guys are built on, it's going to affect the DEX at that chain, meaning I won't be able to sign transactions. It'll take forever. So let me ask you this: when you guys build over on Nibiru, will I have to switch and go use the DEX over there? Are my tokens that I have on your DEX on Archway going to talk to the tokens that I have on your DEX over on Nibiru?
Yeah. So our goal is for you to not really know or care which pools are on which chains, and to just use Astrovault and know, like, you can know that you're using multiple chains underneath it. But our point, like, we're a product. Do you care if you're using HTML or HTTP like underneath Facebook? No, you're just using the application. We just want people to use the application. We just want people to be able to trade. So the whole reason we're taking so long to do this multi-chain thing, and we have the backend code done, we're just trying to figure out the UI to polish this up, is we need users to be able to use multiple chains at the same time and have everything be safe without having the feel of like, oh, I'm going to go use Astrovault on Archway. Click a drop down. Now I'm going to go use Astrovault on Neutron. You're just going to use Astrovault. And some of the liquidity will be on all the different chains, and it's not going to matter to you.
So are you guys going to fragment the liquidity? Are you going to move? Because I mean, if it just shows up into one pool, I'm using a single app. I don't really care. Are you going to fragment that liquidity and move it around to your other dexes on your other chains in the event of a DDoS?
So I don't. We wouldn't really have time to respond like that to a DDoS, but what we're probably going to do is just have like not duplicate the exact same pools on the exact same chains. So maybe we have like, an XArch, X Atom pool on Archway. Then maybe we'll have X Atom AXV on Neutron. It would be weird if we had the exact same pool on both places, because that would basically enable more arbitrage, but worse trading environments for the traders. And we're trying to get the best trading environment so we can get the most volume. So yes, we will have liquidity on multiple chains, but we're I guess you could call that fragmented, but because of how we set up our multi-chain router, it won't feel fragmented. What I would consider fragmented is if you break up the same pools multiple times in a way that worsens the price impact in the slippage.
Okay, yeah, no, I get you. All right, carry on, Bell. Bell's muted.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you are.
All right. So, Microman, we heard you lacked power in your area. Sorry to hear that, man. It's an age thing.
Is that what it is, dude? No, man. We have Tom has got a lot of new products for us. A couple of them may or may not be around the ED, the ED pharmaceutical. Not going to read those tonight. Let's just say that they're in the pipe. So don't worry about it, man. I'm going to be fine. All right. Anything I can't handle, I have science to take care of for me. Carry on, Bell.
Top Cat, for a guy that never listens to Twitter Spaces, you usually have the latest goss from the Twitter Spaces.
A lot of these are there's ways to rate them. There, you got your rah spaces, you have your what if spaces, and then you have the weird doom spaces. I mean, that's it. That's basically it. And as soon as you put scam in the title anywhere, everybody's going to go, because people are getting nervous now. You guys are crypto investors. You're out here in this world, and if you are paying attention, hopefully you are incredibly concerned as well. So anytime you put that up there and you're talking about people's money, you're going to get a lot of views on it. A lot of people are going to be tuning in, listening to this stuff. Now, again, I don't have a tendency to stick around through them too much, because we've been saying this for a year. We've been talking about this for 12 to 18 months, so it's not new to us. But it is nice to see other people catching up. Anyway, carry on, Bell.
Microman, are there enough good projects to survive the next 5 years, or will the endless value extraction cripple crypto?
You know what? I'll let Eric take this one.
We're in the dot-com bubble right now, where lots of new things are being tried. People know that something big's at play, but they don't know how to use it. What comes out of this is going to be bigger than Google, is going to be bigger than Amazon, and it's not going to be a whole lot of things. And that is really, really scary for me to believe. Obviously, I'm going to tell you guys what I honestly think is the truth. But if we get some kinds of tech stacks that build out a lot of these different projects, they're not going to have a whole bunch of different tokens integrated. They won't. They'll be underlying back end stuff. I mean, like things like Kive. Like, that's really cool. That's really great tech. Is somebody going to have to buy out the entire token at the entire valuation to integrate that into their tech stack? Because if so, it's not going to be worth it, and they're just going to fork open source code. So we have to figure out how different sections of businesses merge, or else they're all going to be completely basically done away with and replicated, especially if they're open source, by the few winners. So that is what scares me. Right now, there aren't enough good projects. We have the Jackals of the world. We have the Kudoses of the world that can and will make and change a huge difference. Omniflix can absolutely be huge. It feels like we're getting ready to go to war, and we've got Dwayne the Rock Johnson running alongside Stephen Hawking, both holding shields and swords, and everybody's united right now, but not everyone's going to be equal on the other side. So
No, and honestly, guys, look, these are a lot of the things that Eric and I talk about offline. We don't really bring it out to the big screen, because people don't want to hear it. But I'm getting to the point now where people need to hear it. You need to be aware of this. Uh, very few of the things that you're talking about right now are even going to be alive 2 years from now. I mean, if you want to see what 2 years will do in crypto, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Juno. All right, they had the world, and now look at them. Now they're trying to reinvent themselves as a governance platform. We're going to show how truly decent, and nobody's going to pay for it. Even with all of that, all of the stuff that they keep putting up there on Twitter, I ask them the same question. Yeah, but how are you going to monetize it? Well, we don't need to monetize it. Yeah, you really, really do. Anything out here that there's a reason that we do interviews the way that we do, and the very first thing that I'm going to ask and try to get to the bottom of is how are you monetized. I'm going to ask Eric about it right now. Eric, you're a monetized Dex, right? You're profitable. Can you back that up?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I can.
then let's do it nice and simple, man. How much money did you make last month?
I don't have it monthly on the top
Give
of my
me
head.
a week.
I made
Fine, weekly.
25,800 last week.
How much did you spend?
And that's separate from outbid, so it would have been another 11,000 if you count outbid.
No, we're throwing outbid out. So you made 25 grand. How much did you spend to earn that 25 grand?
18,200. However, 6 grand of that was spent to ourselves and automatically burned, so we spent about 12K.
Okay, so you spent 12K to earn 25. See, now that is monetization. That is a product, that is sustainability. Now, help me out here, because maybe I just don't understand your tokenomics good enough, but you guys make money on action on the DEX, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so the more people make trades, do swaps, do everything that's happening right over here. I'm showing your DEX, by the way. The more action that happens over on this DEX, you guys make money on every transaction. Am I misunderstanding this?
No, sir.
Okay. So is that why you could incentivize something like a little token right here called Power Bottom, which we all know what it is? It's a pure meme token, but you guys are able to pay 7% APR on that. How are you able to pay 7% APR on this token? Because it's not paid out in Power Bottom. This is where crypto is different over here on Astrovault. They're not paying us in Power Bottom because they can't pay us in Power Bottom. They have to pay us in AXV. How are you paying us 7% in AXV for that token, which is a pure meme token, paired with your native DEX token? How are you able to support something like this?
Because we're making 8%.
Is that really where it is? I mean, that's it. You guys are making 8% on the transaction. So you would consider this is not exactly a hybrid pool. All right, man, we're paired with AXV over here. And I know because that's effectively all of my liquidity. That is effectively all of my money that's sitting over there, because we're doing something very, very special with this. And we partnered up with the Astrovault to see if it could happen. So the more action that happens on that pool, you guys simply make more money, and you don't really care.
Yeah, give the people what they want. We're going to make money on fostering you guys trading whatever you want to trade. Similarly, we're going to make money on the stake and rewards and the security of all the chains we're able to support. But we basically, in our formulas, we choose to give more rewards back to AXV holders and AXV pairs than we do otherwise, because the whole purpose of Astrovault is to drive the value to the protocol, which is the AXV holders.
Okay.
So if you're LPing in an AXV pool, you're getting a higher percent of APR. We might be running that pool at a loss. So that like AXV USDC, we're running that pool at a loss. Meanwhile, if you're earning 36% on Osmo USDC right now, honestly, we're robbing you blind. We made $4,400 on the Osmo pools last week, and we spent $1,400 on
them. There's no way. Who put up the Osmo, man?
Some awesome LPs who are earning fantastic APRs on it. But those pools are huge money makers for us. The TimeFlux pools are doing great, and we do now have skip integration. So if you're just trading Osmo through an aggregator through Leap or something, there's a pretty decent chance that your trade is going through Astrovault.
Okay, why aren't you running more TimeFlux pools? And apparently these are a powerhouse for you.
They are powerhouses. It's because we value user security over making a quick buck. Osmo rolled out general purpose concentrated liquidity. It's really good for getting trades to go your guys' way. They're not safe. Concentrated liquidity isn't safe. We made it as safe as we can. I'm beginning to think I might be the only guy that like actually understands all of the risks for this kind of stuff. But the more we roll out, the more broad we choose to make TimeFlux pools, the more trading volume we're going to get, but the more risky it is for the liquidity providers. If I roll out the USDC X Jackal pool we have right now, if we want to duplicate that as a TimeFlux pool, then you can make 60 and 70K trades either direction, with no price impact, with decent fees. The trade volume will probably go up, and the fees will go way up. Meanwhile, for impermanent loss, like, it's been called impermanent loss because they were standard pools. Now you have bidirectional impermanent loss, which I just call
Jesus.
permanent loss.
Right.
Like, the price can end up, like, the price of Jackal can go from 40 cents to 30 cents back to 40 cents. And you might be sitting there with only 95% of the overall dollar worth of liquidity you previously had. And if that doesn't make sense, it's because this is weird and complicated, the way the pool imbalances work. Basically, traders can get better trades off the back of liquidity providers losing money. So it is complicated. We're trying to protect you guys. But if you guys are open to more risk for higher APR, then yes, we can roll out a lot more time flex pools if that's what you guys want.
All right, let's talk about one in particular here. I'm gonna pull up your decks again. So there's you're recently increased your APR like to an obscene amount over here on the AXV USDC pool. Now, personally, I love that pool. I don't even know how much I have in there. I have about $42,000, so I'm about a third of that pool right there. And I'm putting more into it because you're paying me almost 50%. For AXV, which has been running incredibly nice and stable for me, and you're pairing it up with USDC, there's effectively no way I can lose in this pool. If the USDC stabilizes the AXV token, because AXV is affected by Arch really, really badly, so the USDC actually stabilizes that pool, and if AXV goes up, then it gets liquidated and becomes USDC. That is my whole plan, because your token is sitting at about a dime right now, and I completely see that thing going much, much higher. And as it does it, I can withdraw cash from this pool and not attack the token. This is one of the best pools on here. Somebody sent me some, I don't know, I'm on Twitter, dude, so I get all kinds of interesting comments. But they're telling me for that pool to be effective, it needs to be at about 340% APR. I'm like, right? Thank you. This is what, dude, you need to come over to my side of this world here, dude, because I hear from all kinds of people. But this one pool right here, there's no way you're making money on this. There's no way you're making money. You're getting your ass kicked on this. Why do you have this pool, and why is that APR so high?
Because that is a good that makes the decks work better, that makes the token safer, that makes the ecosystem better. USDC is real money.
It is.
And all of these other tokens aren't. All the decentralized stables aren't.
And I completely agree with you, man. But here's probably the thing. Why is there only $143,000 at that pool? What the hell's the matter with people, man? Am I not messaging this correctly? Because that is you're making it rain on me every day. And I'm thrilled with it, man. Look, I don't care what people do with your money. You do what you do with your money. But how can you see that and not see it the way I see it? How am I getting this wrong? Because you guys have got to be losing money on this pool, dude. Give me the numbers on that pool. Do you have those numbers?
Yeah. Last week we made $530, and now that we upped the emissions a little bit, we're on track to spend about $1,300 on it this week.
All right, so you're going to lose money on that pool, but you're going to keep that APR. So you're doing this because you're looking 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road, as opposed to looking at your toes. Am I misunderstanding
that liquidity
this?
is more valuable for the functionality of the decks than almost any other liquidity.
Yes. Are you going to keep pace with that APR? Have you guys already decided this is all we're going to lose on this? Because if I put in another 100 grand, I'm going to chop that APR down by at least 15%. So are you guys willing to continue to lose money on this to build up the stability of the token?
So yes, we are planning on continuing to lose money on this pool. That means, like, if you put in 100K, you're going to drop the APR from 50% to like 35%.
Yep.
It's not saying like, oh no, we're going to boost it up even more to 50%.
That's what I'm asking.
If you add another 100K in, we're still going to be running that pool at a $760 loss for the week.
Oh no,
at the 35% APR, unless volume goes up a lot.
And I understand that. I'm saying, are you going to sweeten it up if I put another 100 grand in there, man? Will you guys lose a little bit more to take care of me? Will you do that? Can you do that? Can we get a verbal commission? Can we get a verbal accept right now?
I think that you think that I run these pools the same way all the other dexes do, and we don't.
Yes,
It's not me putting my finger on the trigger, being like, "Oh, let's give Scott some money." It's all formulas, dude. So like we have asset multipliers for individual assets, and AXV and USDC are the highest, and then up there with Wrapped Bitcoin. And so we're taking the volume and we're basically multiplying what we earn in fees by our asset multipliers of how valuable we consider that liquidity, and it spits out reward weights for different pools. Some liquidity we don't consider valuable, some liquidity we consider extremely valuable. So if you trade, if you wash trade a lot in that pool, basically, it's gonna trigger itself to give higher APRs. But if you put a lot more of liquidity in the pool, and we have less trading volume the next week, then the overall emissions that we give are going to go down. But it's really proportionate to the rest of the decks.
Yeah, but these are just words, dude. What I'm asking for is a sweetheart deal here. All right, that's what I'm asking for. I don't know how much foreplay we have to get through here, man, before you actually answer it. I want a sweetheart deal. I want to guarantee that APR is going to stay at 50%. Will you give me that?
No.
You suck so bad. Bell, carry on. I'm done with him.
All right, so Microman regarding the statements versus on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So we can't even trust the declared numbers? Shit. And we wonder why crypto has a reputation problem.
You can always trust max supplies. If it says max supply on CoinGecko, they would never lie to you.
Why would they? I'm sorry. Microman's been with us for years, dude. Do you listen to what we say, or do you just, I'm sorry, do you hear what we say, or do you just listen? Carry on, Bell.
All right. Ambido, Eric, I have a super exciting incentivized testnet. I think you'd be interested in it.
Oh, I saw that tweet.
For only a few hours of clicking per day, you maybe get enough to buy a coffee.
You see all these people who just talk about airdrops get up to like tens of thousands of users on Twitter, and now they're like getting paid to tweet stuff. I hate it, man. Like, I like authenticity. I like your guys' channel. It's good production value, but you don't sell out. I like that. Like,
I had the best idea as soon as I saw your response to that. You guys understand that click farms exist, right? You understand that click farms exist. How hard would it be just to wrap all that stuff together, basically create a click farm? You're incentivizing people to come up here and click, 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 and you're going to pay them like 8 cents an hour. You are literally going to drive India out of business. And you know what? Here's the funny, guys. People will do it, because they're earning money. They're earning cryptocurrency in here. You're doing what they pay other people dollars to do. You'll do it for cents. Anybody who's not jumping on this right now, this is why innovation is dead in crypto, because if somebody hasn't figured that out, that is the simplest thing in the world to do. You could do it behind blockchain. You have KYC. Wasn't us that was clicking it. You'll never even be able to trace the click back. Eric, why aren't you building that?
Oh, Scott, I just don't think that that's being done at all. I think that Ellis actually has 1 million users.
Oh, yes, they do. Carry on, Bell.
All right. So regarding the live read from our sponsor, Microman, Eric, do my voicemail.
Can we start pimping you out, dude? Eric will do.
For so much, if you buy one of the Eric NFTs for Power Bottom, I think they're only supposed to be like 5. Yeah, anyone who ends up with an Eric NFT, I'll do your voicemail for you.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Say whatever you want to say.
Let me expand on that a little bit. There you go, man. For an Eric NFT, we've partnered up with Fight Farm. I know that we're kind of, believe it or not, guys, we're going to be building. So we're building something here right now. That is going to be so exciting a year from now once we actually get some traction with it. It's really, really cool, man. Look, Chris is our Fight Farm partner over there, man. Look, Chris is next level, dude. This guy is a thinker, and I like to deal with thinkers that will realize visions that we all have. He's the one who can actually put it together. Bell and I are kind of like, hey, wouldn't this be cool? And Chris is like, yeah, I know how to do that. So we're basically, all of this stuff is coming up, and we haven't given away any power bottom yet, Bell. We got $50 worth of power.
No. I've already put it in chat. But the first person who drops a comment in chat, as of a few minutes ago, the first person that drops a comment in chat that absolutely has me dying laughing gets the power bottom.
There you go, guys. $50. Now, we this pool right over here that's paying us 7.11%. We earn approximately $200 a month on this. So, I'm sorry, $200 a week on this. So we're going to be able to give away, if we go live 3 nights a week, we'll be able to give away $60 each night, and it doesn't cost us anything. Brought to you by Astrovault. Round of applause. And this is what's fun about it, guys. And Eric, please pay attention here. Yes, they're paying us out in AXV, but they're making money on it. So it doesn't matter how much they pay us out because they're still making money on top of that. This is our way to be able to pay you to watch the podcasts. And we're going to be doing it with PBB, and we're going to be doing it at no expense to ourselves. Astrovault makes money on it. We get to hook up our viewers. All of this is a win-win-win, man. This is community building. This is all of these things. And we're doing it with a goddamn meme token, man. If you can't see how cool this is, I can't help you. But we're taking it a step further. We're taking it a step further because we partnered up with Fight Farm. And Fight Farm has got a really, really neat thing. Now, we got to get Chris on here on the show more so that he can really lay it out for you. The only thing that they're missing right now is an app. But I happen to be in the know that something like that is going to be developed. So we're giving you NFT sports betting that's happening around in a fun and engaging way. Now, Power Bottom has already sponsored fighters for this very next bout that's been going up. We pitched him $500. It didn't come from the treasury. It came from my wallet. It's not about that. It's a matter of trying to build something cool. And we actually had the vision of putting the arm over there on Astrovault and saying if they would pony up $500 worth of AXV for the prize fund so that we could slap the AXV logo on a couple of the fighters, but it can't be any fighter that's sponsored by Power Bottom, so that we can have the AXV going up against the PBB in the big bout and see how that works out. It's just fun stuff, guys, man. We're into this, and if we can happen to give some money back, we're happy to give some money back. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm all done talking about that. Belle, please carry on.
Microman, I feel like Jacob is like these auditors that go around filming public buildings. What they do isn't wrong, but they act like complete knobs whilst doing it.
Is that what they are, Eric? You know the guy, man. I don't know him. I've never shared a word with him.
So I think he does the same business tactic I do, just very, very differently. And it's a good business tactic. If you're trying to get hired, especially if you do consulting, what you do is you approach a team and you show them like, hey, here is a problem that you probably didn't know that you had. And then when they're like, oh crap, I have this problem I didn't know I had, and be like, but don't worry, here's a solution. If they see a problem that they didn't know that they had from you, but you already have a solution and nobody else showed them this problem and nobody else has a solution, they're very likely to hire you to solve the problem that they didn't know that they had. I go about it very politely and nicely. Most of the people that have hired me, for the most part, have enjoyed their time working with me, and their tokens are looking pretty darn good for it. I don't blow it up on Twitter like, hey, this group sucks.
Yeah, my
Give me a
man,
grand.
man goes a different way, dude. He is blackmail-esque. You know what? Hey, and if you give me money, I'll tell you how to fix it. What a douche. I would maybe go a different way. I'm sorry. Carry on, Belle.
All right, Bud. Eric, will there be any profits as an AXV holder? The inflationary rewards do not benefit holders and could be used for buybacks or sold for USDC, at least so real revenue is realized by the protocol.
Ooh.
Real revenue is recognized by the protocol through buybacks and through growing protocol-owned liquidity. If you notice all the new AXV pools we put up about a week and a half ago, notice their liquidity is going up. That's going from protocol and liquidity from what we're earning in those things. Like the DAO itself owns a lot of the AXV X Osmo pool, owns a lot of the AXV X Passage pool, because we're earning Passage, we're earning Osmo. And so that liquidity is automatically growing itself. The more we own of it, the less we have to pay for it. So if it's earning 30% APR, those are funds that are just being burned. So we are realizing profits in a way that's further incentivizing growth than just say like, hey, we got partners list on our decks. Now we're just going to sell a whole bunch of their tokens for USDC. That while that might be fun short term, that is not making us a good partner where they want us to be their long-term decks. We need to actually believe and foster their growth. So great points. You are realizing profits if you're a holder. The idea of profits is we're considering emissions as expense. I've been told by a bunch of people that's not even fair, that we should just call our full revenue adjusted profits. What I'm saying is like what you're experiencing in dilution is nothing compared to what the DAO is earning. So the value of the DAO that you're a part of is growing a lot more than you're being diluted. So you're experiencing profits, and you can feel it more tangibly by staking AXV to earn Atom. You can't stake Osmo to earn Atom.
All right, so old man, Juno is still a thing?
Yeah, Eric, why don't you go into conversations with them and see if they'd entertain a buyout? Let's just see if they'd entertain a buyout, because I might be interested in another experiment to see if you can turn Eric, to see if you can turn Juno around. Do you believe that you could turn Juno around? You can talk, dude, or you're muted.
No, I was thinking about it real quick. Sorry, I was not prepared for that question. I don't think I could.
What would
I
you
mean,
need to turn Juno around? What would you need?
we need good ideas of novel things to be built. We need actual builders to build them, and we need some kind of incentive as to why to build them there. There is nothing that's available on Juno that isn't available anywhere else. There's just less funding and less collaboration and worse tooling. So it's actually harder to build things on Juno than it is basically anywhere else in Cosmos, and less rewarding to build things on Juno than it is anywhere else in Cosmos. This is the max supply problem. Like this right here. They told everybody 3 years ago, 2 years ago, that they were so early that they get this high APR that nobody else is going to get. Congratulations. They got them all to lock it up and to stake because, oh, we're early. And now they don't have any inflation. They don't have any tokens to work with to get people to actually build shit. Because the stuff that they paid money on didn't build, or it did build and it flopped because they paid a ton of money for crap projects. And now they don't have money and they don't have any projects to work with. And so now it's like, oh, well, if we need to, like, if Juno was to be saved, it would take a new project that's novel, like an Astrovault, to build on Juno, and probably somewhat exclusively. And in order to get somebody like Astrovault to build on Juno, they would have to print more tokens and give them to us. So getting rid of the stupidity that is their fake max supply. So if Juno was to be saved, first step first, get rid of any max supply and increase inflation and get some damn funding to give to a proper team and do better due diligence than what you guys did.
Yeah, none of that is gonna happen over there, dude. They're building governance. They're gonna govern everything, man. They're trying to create another Mordor on the Potomac. That's what they're doing right there. We want to be DC, and everything goes through us. I'm just, man, who is sitting on those boards over there right now? I know that they really want to get Jacob over there because he's gonna straighten it out. Guys, look, I can read. I can see what's going on here, man. It would be the one thing that I could afford, because I could absolutely afford just to completely buy out Juno. It would all go through this man right over there, because he would work me out the best deal, because we would have to completely end the Juno token as it knows, and we'd have to airdrop the new token that we're going to develop, because their tokenomics are just absolutely ass. But the problem is that I couldn't think of 10 projects that I'd want to put on there, because 10 projects, good projects, really don't exist. They simply don't, man. It would be fork after fork after fork, and shit, you could put that anywhere. I don't have to put up $3 million to buy out Juno to make that happen. I don't have to do that, man. I could just put that anywhere if we had them. We wouldn't have to fork Juno. We wouldn't have to do any of this. I'm sorry. Go, Bell.
All right. So, Microman, so is there an overall algorithm or strategy that says we'll lose on this pool or that pool, but the DEX overall is profitable?
Kind of. Yes,
Oof.
we outlined it in the econ paper. We have had to tinker with it. So we ran a bunch of sims. That was the best I was able to do. It wasn't good enough. We started messing with it live. There was too much volatility in different pool volume that something would jump from 0 APR to 130% APR in ways that just weren't benefiting the decks. But additionally, like, yes, we're not quite fluctuating the amount of emissions giving out week to week as would be required for that. In essence, right now we're paying out basically a flat amount of tokens per week to LPs. If AXV goes from 10 cents to 25 cents next week, we probably won't be operating at a profit. We'll be operating at a small deficit. Realistically, an early stage crypto product, we should be operating at a pretty significant deficit.
Yes.
We're the only thing not operating at a deficit. I'm not huge into speculation. It tells me that the price probably isn't where, like, speculatively it should be. But yeah, it doesn't mean no matter what we're going to operate at a profit, but it means that no matter what, operating at a profit is on our purview, that we're tracking that kind of information, and that is what our goal is long term. The more we're earning, the easier it is to operate at a profit in the future, because we have enough of our own liquidity that we're no longer having to pay for it for operations. The more time flux pools we have, the more volume we're able to get from our cool concentrated liquidity, the more trade fees we get. Week to week, we went from 20K to like almost 26K in revenue. our liquidity yield was about the same. Our trade fees went from 6K to over 11K. We can scale trade fees really fast if we do more time flux pools and get more aggregator integration. So that is one way to stay in profit.
Okay, I'm going to light a claymore off here, dude. You know what a claymore mine is? Are you familiar with a claymore mine? It is actually proof that the official language of the U.S. military is English, because one side of it says point towards enemy, and it's written in English, dude. So you should really, really know that. I'm going to light off a claymore. I'm going to hit record because I want to see your answer to this. Eric, in your opinion, is your hang on, I got to hit record. Eric, in your opinion, is your fiscal conservatism in regards to Astrovault hampering the growth of the AXV token in the short term? Go.
I don't know. I wish I did. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know if me going out and hyping it up would have done more. I don't know if we should have just never launched the token until we were able to raise, $20 million out of $200 million valuation or something. That's what a lot of people told us. And then like, oh, well, you already launched a token. Your project's just dead. I'm like, it's not. Yes, we built a project that can earn 100K plus per month in revenue before we took a damn dime private sale. We built our own way without bid. I believe that we're building something that's so long-term focused, that's so revolutionary, that will come out of the other side of the dot-com bubble. And I think that view is worth more than any temporary fiscal shenaniganery would have netted. And I might be wrong. So it's possible. I definitely err to the side of conservatism. If I err too far to the point where it's hampering Astrovault's growth, then I'm sorry. At the same time, like, I need to be able to sleep at night.
All right. Record is off. Go ahead, Belle.
All right. So Bradley Coker, AXV is not osmosis. No sweetheart deals. No.
Eric,
yeah,
no,
Scott,
bullshit, dude. All right. No. You know what, Eric? You know what, dude? Maybe I'll record my answer, dude. I'm gonna help make you famous here. Famous, as if we have so many people that tune in and watch this show. They should. Everybody out there in the crypto world should be tuned in right now, particularly anybody in Cosmos. You guys are still listening to like Cryptocito. You're still listening to Cephii. You're still listening to all these guys that have just absolutely bent you over, and they're sailing away into the sunset with their pockets stuffed with your money. So yeah, you should absolutely continue. You know what's the definition of insanity? What was Einstein's definition of insanity, Eric? I know you're well read.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But for some reason, no matter how far down you guys go, you still tune in and you still listen to these jerk-offs that have no skin in the game whatsoever, and they're just happy to ride away with your money over and over and over. What makes the podcast different? I have skin in the game, babe. All right, we're in the trenches. I am absolutely in the trenches. Now, I've never gotten a sweetheart deal. Obviously, it's sarcasm. All right, it's tongue-in-cheek, man. They are not going to give me any kind of sweetheart deal, because as soon as they do, everything that they're doing goes up in smoke. Somebody's going to find out about it, and it's just not going to work. I don't need a sweetheart deal to earn in crypto. I just don't. All right. I've been doing just fine all by myself. Belle is a very wealthy woman. You wouldn't think it, but Belle is a very wealthy woman because she has her own ideas. She sees it the way she sees it, and she's traded very, very successfully out here. We're not the builders. All right. We are the people who we are the people who generate income, because we can spot the builders who are doing the right things. That's really all it comes down to. All right, Belle, we are over time. Do we have more questions, or are we about out here?
We've got a few more.
All right, let's lightning round them and get them through, and then we'll talk it up and talk it out.
Old man, wait, Eric NFT, what?
Eric?
I'm just riding the hype of you guys with Power Bottom. I was told that there might be some NFTs with regular guests. I've been on the show, I think, like 3 times now.
What we're doing, dude, is every guest who comes on here, particularly the regular guests, such as Eric, we're gonna mint 5 NFTs. We're going to mint Fight Farm is going to mint 5 NFTs with your likeness, with whatever we want to do with them, and then we're going to go ahead and sell those NFTs. Now, we have to get value for those NFTs, which means that we have to get the guests to agree to do something for anybody who redeems that NFT with you. So we're going to be kicking out 5 of them. I'm buying number one of 5 of all of them. So we'll talk offline and figure out what Eric's willing to do for his NFT, because this is community building, dude. All right. This is what we talk about. This is what we're passionate about. This is what is necessary. So therefore, Eric, with the shirt and tie, which I've never seen him in a collared shirt on this show, with a black t-shirt. Dude, are you wearing a black t-shirt? What's that? It better say Astrovault. Is it Hanes or does it say Astrovault on it?
There's no logo, just boring black shirt.
Oh,
I get clothes at Walmart.
You suck. So many levels of suck. But yeah, we're going to be kicking all these things out because they're going to be, that's part of community building, man, is that you're going to own a likeness of Eric. There will only ever be 5. So if you want one, go ahead and grab it up, and Eric will offer you
max supply of Eric NFTs.
Max supply of Eric NFTs. There will be 5 of these. There will be 5 of the Bell. And if you guys want them, we'll figure out something to do with them. But again, it's all going to Fight Farm, man. All right, we're trying to help out Chris. I think he's on the cusp of something here, dude. You got to admit, Eric, you're familiar with the casino industry, aren't you?
Intimately.
Would you say that people like to gamble? Look at you. Go ahead and say it.
Yes.
We all know the answer.
Yes.
Yeah, so if people like to gamble, man, we're just trying to facilitate that and get it to Astrovault. That's all it is, man. Look, it's fun, it's safe, and everybody can, if we all agree to it, this is what we know that we're getting into, man. It's fun, it's safe, and that's it. It's building community. Carry on, Belle.
All right, so next one coming in from Microman. I want an Eric bobblehead with my NFT.
Eric.
Let's get some 3D printed. There was an old project I was working with a while back that does like 3D printing NFTs where your NFT can be the rights to digitally print something. Actually, some really cool stuff. We'll have to make a DAO for those of you lucky enough to get an Eric NFT to make art special, just because I'm trying to find a way to have the floor price of mine be higher than Scott's. And he's got way more to throw at an NFT than I do.
I got more. I could outlive you, dude. That's all it is. But I got a lot more money. I'll tell you what. If I got 5 Eric bobbleheads made, do I have your verbal consent to make these bobbleheads?
Yes.
Because you know I'll fucking do it. Belle, make a note, please. Tell me how much. Let's get it done. Carry on, please.
And even the Cosmos merch store.
All right. So the person I've judged for winning the PBB tonight, Microman, you brat. The Power Bottom puts out 3 times a week.
You know what? We'll give it up. There you go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Power Bottom does, in fact, the Power Bottom's going to put up anytime that you guys go live. I tried to give you guys a gift. You know what? I'm a little bit depressed about this, by the way, because I let everybody on the Discord know exactly what I was going to be doing. I said I'm going to drive this token to a nickel. My money, my time, my effort, my everything. If you would like to ride on my back, go ahead and take a peek. Just go ahead, do your thing, man, and I'm going to get it up there, and I'm going to support it at a nickel. And for some reason, even the podcasters didn't believe me on this one, man, right now. If you would have came in with me at the time that I would have came in, your $1,000 is right now worth $45,000 of my money. That's a funny thing, man. It's not like we're minting these. Every token out here has to be purchased. It has to be, there's no mystery supply. There's no anything. I said, hey, ride this up. I will support it. We'll get it up because we need this. We need this token to be the currency of Darkside TV. We need this to be the currency for Fight Farm, so we need it stable. We need the tokens locked up. I'm working with Eric to set up a multi-sig to lock away all of my liquidity. Eric, did we not have this conversation?
We did. I should probably do that.
Yeah, so if I lock away all of my liquidity in a multi-sig wallet and say you're on the other side of it, can I dump it?
No. But we can actually claim the rewards in the multi-sig, so we can have it buy a PBB and give it back out to people.
Almost like we're building utility into a token so that we can support the people who watch this fucking show. I'm so excited about this, dude, but nobody came along with me. That's the funny thing. Let's take a look. Let's see where it's at right now. Right this very second. Oh, look at there. It's just shy of a nickel. almost like I said it was going to do what we said it was going to do, and nobody came along. Eric, did you buy any Power Bottom?
I bought it at 1 cent. I did not buy it until it was on Astrovault.
You didn't believe me, did you?
Oh, I absolutely believed you. I have morals, standards. They might not be good, but I have them and I abide by them.
Nah, man, go ahead and dump it, dude. I got more than enough capital to buy it back. I'm going to support it at where it's going to be because I'm earning yield on a goddamn meme
I have
token, man.
hundreds of NFTs. I have never sold one. I have now 2 meme coins. I have never sold them. I LP'd my funds on Astrovault. That's what I do. It's what I'm always going to do.
I don't even know how you sell an NFT. I'm sorry. Carry on, Bell.
Nuclear chicken. Scott said my wallet makes me wonder if there will be a Power Bottom wallet.
Nope, I don't need it, man. I don't need any of this stuff. All right. The only thing I need to make this successful, to drive utility the way we intend to drive utility to a meme token, is Astrovault and Fight Farm. That's the only 2 things I need. We were in, we had talked before I even started this out. I want to make sure, look, man, I'm not an idiot. All right. I am not a fool. I have plans. All right. And we got to build, and builders are going to build, man. And we're going to build something that is community. We're going to build something that's fun. We're going to build something that has utility. I'm not going to just piss money away. All right. That ain't my thing. So we've had these things set up before we ever started on this little venture, and now this venture is happening. So no, you're going to look back at this a year. You're going to remember this stream a year from now and say, fuck, I could have been in there. Anyway, carry on, Bell.
Joshua Knight with a real groaner. Why does Isabel hang on the neck of Eric? Because she's a bell.
Eric.
Isabel? I'm lost. I missed this one. It's over my head.
You suck, dude.
Why does Isabel hang on the neck of Eric? Because she's a bell.
Eric hates it when we go long, dude. We absolutely had him tuned out. Carry on.
Sorry,
Bell.
guys. I lost it.
Yeah, you do. You suck. Go, Bell.
Nuclear chicken. Max supply drinking game? We need an NFT for that.
Eric, I am going to argue to my death. Eric, cough so that you're on the screen. I want to see your expression. Nope, you got to say something, dude. You're not getting the screen frame right now.
Testicles, 1, 2.
There they are. I'll argue to my death, dude, that one of the biggest selling points of crypto is max supply. All right, people need to know. Shut up. Nope, I get to talk now. It's almost like it's the podcast. You're wearing a necklace. All right, you can hush. Max supply is incredibly important to crypto, man. How else are you going to develop exclusivity and scarcity unless you have a max supply? Everybody knows this, Eric. The only person I've ever met in the crypto space that is not on board with this is you jerk off. So tell me why I am wrong.
I'm just built different. My needs are special. You can sell infinite amount of rarity. It's fantastic. But there is nothing deflationary like in the world. Like there is, it's not a real thing, and if it is, it's not a good thing. And everyone's obsessed with it because you have no idea what you're hoping for. Fundamentally, you guys are lost. You have no idea what you're hoping for. No idea what you're supposed to be doing. No idea what the future of crypto looks like after this .com bubble.
I know what it looks like.
I
do know what it looks like. I lived through the goddamn .com, dude. All right, I was already there. That's the funny thing. I've already seen this. I know what came out of the goddamn .com, and you know what came out of the .com? Amazon came out of the .com. Microsoft came out of the .com. For fuck's sake, DPIN, but we just called it infrastructure at the time, came out of the .com. These are the things that came out of the .com. All right, I've already seen this, man. It's great. And guys, we're gonna get back to wrap up the questions. We're already long. I didn't get to hit the graphic yet, Bell. Can I hit the power bottom graphic because I just made this today? Can I hit it? It's 10 seconds, and then we're right back.
Yes, hit it.
Okay, guys, if you could, 10 seconds for the debut of the power bottom graphic that'll go through 5,000 changes. Stand by.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And that's it, guys. That's what I worked on today. That was my thing. Carry on, Bell. We're way over time. Just go ahead and lightning round them.
Political, what does the power bottom token look like in a thong?
Bell, are you wearing your power bottom? Bell, are you wearing your power bottom thong? Because if you were, that would be so awesome right now.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, carry on.
All right, Wolf Bites coming in with the very last one. Is this like when they auction someone off for charity on a date?
Eric, because it's your NFTs on the line, dude. What are you willing to give up for a redemption of one of the Eric NFTs?
Oh man, I'm a happily married man. Anything else is on the table. Anything.
Anything. So
Dangerous.
anything whatsoever.
I
Okay.
will record your voicemail.
I think that would personally, Belle, I think that would be awesome. What do you think about
I think
that?
the voicemail recordings would be epic.
Okay, that's one thing. All right, we're all done with questions, Belle, right?
Yes.
Okay. Folks, look, man, we don't ask you for very much. We actually pay you to watch us. Man, I'm asking you to help me out here. We're trying to grow this, and we're really, really trying to grow it now that I'm retired, and this is what I do 24/7. And we're going to be spinning up the Dark Side TV. We had a real good meeting with Flix. Flix is going to give us the very first go at their back-end software, and we're going to burn their servers right to the ground with all the shit we're going to be pushing out. So the Dark Side TV is going to be going live. It's a YouTube channel right now. We're going to roll it over to our very own Owncast server, which is built on a cache. Every single bit of this that we're doing is going to be built with decentralized applications, because we're going to show you what is possible. And that's it. Proof of concept, man. We're big fans of that. We're never going to make a dime on this, guys. Look, when we don't care, all right? It has nothing to do with money for us. It has to do with being the first into the wall. And the first into the wall always gets bloody. We've been bloody for years, and we're going to continue. You know how I can prove that? How many tips have we gotten on this stream? 0. So we're very much accustomed to it. But we're willing to spend whatever it takes to prove that there is a better way of doing up till now what has been traditional business. There are 4 projects over here in Cosmos that I truly believe in all the way down. One is Jackal, one is Cash, one is Kudos, and the 4th is Astrovault. And you don't need to take my word for it, man. You got Eric right over there. If you had any questions, comments, or concerns, you could have sent it to him, man. The guy will come on anytime you need to talk to him. Try to get that kind of deal with anybody else. I like their model. I like their business savvy, and I love the fact that they pay attention to their token, that it isn't just this obscure little thing that we don't really give a shit. It's not Lavana. We're just going to launch for the purpose of launching. Their whole goddamn lives are wrapped up in this. So we try to bring you guys what we see as value. And it's only ever going to be anything that I own in volume. If I don't own it in volume, you're not going to see them on this show, man. It's not worth. I wouldn't ask anybody to take any risks that I'm not willing to take myself. So there you go. Anyway, Eric, please, sir, take all the time you want. Talk it up, talk it out. We're sending it over to Belle. It's been a wonderful stream. Go, Eric.
Thank you guys as always for being an awesome audience, having great questions. Stoked for the cool community building stuff we're going to be doing. If you're LPing Omniflix right now, we're robbing you because they haven't balanced their pool. So go help get that Flix pool a balance. But at the same time, yeah, guys, we really appreciate you. We're always approachable. We're always here. We like the chance of us not making it has passed. We built for 2 years unpaid. We took every odd job that could possibly happen and built an app that was making 100K plus in revenue before we ever got a private check. Everyone else is getting $5 to $20 million with half an idea that could never turn into what we built. So the risk, in my opinion, like other than protocol risk, the risk is gone. Things are going great. We're scaling well, and we're at the right place at the right time. We're early in a bull market. This is going to go great. So excited to have you guys along for the ride. We're not going to change. We are the same people dead broke as we will be if and when we have money, as we will be if and when we go broke again. We're here to build something that lasts for reasons that the world hopefully will make a better place. We're trying to make the jackals of the world fix what's coming. And we're going to do it. So honored to do it alongside you guys. We couldn't do it by ourselves. You guys are the ones that brought us initial liquidity. You guys are the ones that helped us prove our model that everyone said was crazy and couldn't possibly work. It's working. It's working really damn well. And it's because of all of you guys. So thank you. It's going to be a good ride.
All right, Belle, get us out of here.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot possibly thank you guys enough From Scott, from Eric, myself, we do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Now, we're not planning on going live tomorrow evening, but that may actually happen anyway, so keep an eye out on your notifications. In between now and the next time we go live, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to shoot those over to Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we will see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word.